Amen.
Lord, we thank you for today. We thank you for the opportunity to have this meeting. We thank you, Lord God, for the opportunity to gather. And we thank you, Lord God, because everything that we discuss here today, everything that we say, every information that comes to us will be useful to us in the mighty name of Jesus. Lord, you
Amen.
will help us, you will guide our lives, that the information that we get will provide direction for everything that we do in the mighty name of Jesus. That at the end of the day, all glory, all honor, and all adoration will return to you in the mighty name of Jesus.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, Deacon Patrick. All right, so thanks everyone for coming on to this morning. We have a very special guest in our midst. We have Mrs. Bridget Elesin joining us today. It's going to be a very special meeting because we're discussing overparenting. And it was inspired from a video, of course, shared by Pastor Richard about the issue of overparenting and how it can affect the development of our children. So before we get into the nitty-gritty, according to our program here, we have a couple of families that just gave birth, and I don't know if any of them is actually present now, so that we can just exchange pleasantries and congratulate them. No, they're not here yet. You'll probably join us later. Okay. I think the time is 10:13 now. Perhaps we should just go straight into let me allow Mr. Elesin come on now and speak to the group. Let me just Patrick, I'm going to mute you briefly. Good morning. Good morning again, Ma.
Good morning, sir. Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
It's good to see you.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. It's a great privilege to be home. As I was telling myself, this is home for me. So it's wonderful being here. I hope you can all hear me.
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So the topic, interestingly, is something I've had, conversations with my husband over and a lot of other couples. So it's something I'm at home with, and I want to say thank you for bringing it up as a group. I hope that at the end of the day, we will all be blessed, by this topic that we are treating. And so I will start basically from, I'll start with my own story and then I will walk through it. But first of all, let me put it this way. I've been married for 17 years, married to Mr. Tunde Elesin. He's an engineer by profession. And we have 3 amazing, I call them prophetic children. One is 16, the other is 14, and we have 2 daughters and a son. And boy will be 12 in September. So it's been a journey, being parents. And so it's not like we tell people, parenting is not one size fits all. It's a journey, and you are a father and a mother for life. But the act of parenting is not something you do all your life, so to speak, because it's skill that you must learn. Because I tell people, there are things that they tell us, go to school, learn this. It's just now that people started saying the school of parenting, where you must learn how to parent properly. So most of us, even when our parents, parents to us then, did it by what they saw, what they were told, by how they were raised. So every one of us is a product of our nature and our nurturing. Our nature is our personality. So your child is a product of his nature and is nurturing or are nurturing. So let me just give a definition of who a parent is, and it's going to be in my own way so that we understand who a parent is. So a parent is anyone that ensures a child is safe. There's safety first, the child is healthy, and then prepares the child for life. Preparing them for life, not help them take decisions for life. Prepare them for life by teaching him or her life skills plus values that will help them become well-raised adults. A parent is anyone that ensures a child is safe and healthy, prepares the child for life by teaching him or her life skills plus values that will help them, him or her, become well-raised adults. Being parents is a sacred responsibility, and we must know that parenting is a phase. People have had arguments to say, like, Africa, you know how we are. Till date, I'm 45, and my mom will still call. I'm like, I'm a baby forever. You are a child forever where your parents are concerned, you know, and so they will call and they will ask questions. And for those that maybe they've had opportunities to bring their parents into the house to maybe stay for a holiday or to stay up them, you find out that when you are with your parents, they don't remember that you are not the parent in the house, and they want to overparent. So you do this, that's not how to talk to the children. You are not scolding them enough. You are not doing this enough, because that's what they were taught. I've heard cases of, you know, parents going overseas to stay with their children for holidays, and then you see them, are you just coming home at this time? You know how we raised you to be coming home at 7, and this person works 9 shifts, and you have to come home at 7, and the person starts work maybe at 10. So we get into the zone of overparenting without even trying, without knowing. So being a parent is a sacred responsibility, and we must know that parenting is a phase. It's not forever, and it will end at a certain phase. Though you are a father and a mother forever, but parenting is at a certain phase so your children can become adults that can think for themselves, okay? So when we talk about overparenting, we are going overboard with our parenting duties. I have 2 teenagers right now and a soon-to-be twin. So when it comes to parenting, you find out that the way we relate with our children, the way we talk to them, most times is the way our own parents, you know, catered for us, the way our parents took care of us and spoke to us. So you find out that a lot of parents, at the end of the day, we fall into, let's just say, 2 broad categories. Yes, we have other categories where they will tell you you have authoritarian parents, you have laissez-faire parents and things like that. I have categorized parents in 3 spheres for myself. Mine is ABC of types of parents. Is you have the agreeable parent that agrees to almost everything the child says. And then you have the baby parents, you know, that all they want is let the child do whatever they want and it's okay. You know, they say this, they too are overwhelmed. They are being parented by their children. So whatever the child says, yes, the agreeable one, the difference is the agreeable one will agree to you, but will still have boundaries. The baby one is overwhelmed by parenting. They don't have the parenting skills. They are tired, and you know, they can't even cope and deal with. So anything the child says, Mommy, I want this, you can go have it. They use everything to overcompensate. You know, they went on their children to go through that. So they just allow them to be. They are parents that are babies themselves. And you know how babies are. They play with their children. The child does not even know who is the parent. They are like their bodies. It's okay to be bodies. You know, but this one do the bodysm and they become, you know, pals with their children to the point where they can come and hit their head. Mommy, don't talk like this. Mommy, are you silly? Mommy, you know, even call you by name. It's not as if there's anything wrong by calling your name, but they do it respectfully and respectfully. That's baby parents. And then you have the consummate parent that has, you know, the characteristics of the agreeable parents who agree to an extent, but has boundaries, has rules, has learned parenting skills, and is ready to parent that child for life. So I have that ABC category of parents for myself, and that has helped me to tell parents, you must get to the level where At the end of the day, you parent right, so that yes, you can be agreeable with them. Yes, sometimes you can play like the baby parents, but then be a consummate parent where you know what parenting is all about, where you are raising children that can think for themselves, where you know their milestone per time, and you know what they should be doing per time. So you are not making decisions for them when they are even old enough. I've seen parents, you know, when they say somebody is the mommy's boy or somebody is the mommy's girl, it is in the way those people perceive them to be. And how do they perceive them? Every little thing, I need to talk to mommy. Every little thing, you may be happy about it or can be happy, but this will affect them. So that's where overparenting comes in. So what is overparenting? When you attempt to micromanage your children's life, you are overparenting. When you don't allow the child to take decisions, you protect them from every drama. They fall. It will be as if, oh, the fall should have been you. You know, it should have been you falling. You don't even want anything to happen to them. And you don't let them face consequences of their actions. You are overparenting when you don't even allow other people correct them in love or correct them in any way. Truth is, when you start overparenting, if you check properly, you are the one with the problem, not even the children, because every child is born, you know, tabula rasa, is born as a clean slate. Please, if you can hear me, let me know in the comment section so that I'm not talking to myself. Let me know.
Okay. We can hear you, ma.
Okay,
We can hear you, ma.
Thank you
we can
so
hear
much.
you clearly, yes. You just, yeah,
okay,
you're just flowing perfectly.
Okay, thank you. So I wanted to be sure there's
Yes,
feedback because I know everybody is muted.
Yeah, I'm trying to get everybody to put on their videos as well so that we can.
Oh, please, that would be nice.
We can see our faces. It will help.
Thank you.
All right, ma. No problem. We're all here.
Thank you. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma.
Thank you so much. Okay, I have some of my people here, and I'm glad that they could join. Thank you, Esther. Thank you, Wale. Thank you, thank you so much. Okay, I didn't want to be talking to myself because I'm enjoying what I'm saying. Yeah, so I'm teaching myself as well. So as I was saying, every child is born tabula rasa, and that means clean slate. So you come plain, and it's your environment that conditions you. So the environment conditions a child to stop being creative. We're all born creative. We're all born as co-creator with God. He created and then made us creators. And as children, we ask questions. I think I heard, thank you so much, Grace. Thank you. I heard when, I don't know if it was Dotun, I heard when your daughter or somebody was talking to you and was saying, do you want to stay on, and asking questions and things. So what I tell people is, we are born creative, and because we are born creative, we are meant to ask questions. We are meant to, you know, back. But growing up, when we ask questions, they tell you ask too many questions. They shut that creative part of us down. So we can't even think, we can't create, we can't do anything. And when we are non-conformists, they see us, oh, he's a bad child. This child is just eat, he's restless, is that. And we do everything we can to keep the child locked up. That's why the truth is, I love Church for Real. Why? Because you have people that are non-conformists, people that were raised, yes, maybe by regular parents, but they've told themselves, we are not going to be that kind of parents, and we're going to let them be. So we will classify Church for Real parenting style and classify them at the end of the day. But let me put it this way. Know that your child is a person. And if you look at it, we were all created equal before God. Man is man. Just same spirit, ageless spirit of God in us. It's just in age, in terms of our physiology and some other things. That's when we now say, okay, this child is a baby and this person is an adult and things like that. But what am I saying? You must understand that when you overstep your boundary as a parent, when you overreact, when you overcompensate on things, the problem is not with your child. The challenge of overparenting is with the parent. Because you are the parent, it's not the child. So some people will say, oh, I overparent because my child does not understand boundaries. So we must, first of all, understand who a child is. Understand how God has created the child. Understand their temperaments. Understand who the child is. So you have children in different categories. People have come up with a lot of studies on the temperament of people, and they'll tell you the temperament falls under 4 categories. And those 4 categories, you have the, let me say, the 2 outgoing personalities, the choleric, you have the sanguine, then you have the phlegmatic, which are the introverts, the phlegmatic, and then you have the melancholic. They are introvert in terms of temperament. And then you talk about the strength of those that are outgoing. The sanguine, for example, is playful, you know, is creative, can do a lot of things, you know, but at the end of the day has weaknesses of being forgetful. People will say, oh, he or she is scattered brain. So you must understand the temperament of your child before you deal. And then when you have the choleric, they will tell you they are born leaders. And so they will question everything, and then they will lead. So you see them in a place, they are the ones taking the lead. And sometimes you wonder, who made you a leader? It's their personality speaking for them. So they just naturally embrace their personality, and they come up, you know, and they are telling people this is what to do, and have their weaknesses when they are adults or even as children. You see them not being so compassionate. That's how you think. But it's their temperament. They are not moved by tears. They are not moved by a lot of things that other people are moved by. The job done. They just want, if it's play, we are playing now. If it's studying, we are studying now. Don't give me those play that the sanguine will give you. So understand the temperament of your child so that you don't over-parent and overdo things. And then you have the phlegmatic, who is an agreeable child, who is a loyalist, who will fight for everybody and just be there, you know, peaceful, not wanting to rock the boat. Even as a husband, as a wife, they agree to everything. But then don't think because they agree, they don't have their own opinions. They don't see things and want to speak up. But because they are agreeable, people take advantage of them. So sometimes you see them as laid back, sometimes you see them as not motivated. You can say a lot of things about them, but the truth is, understand their personality so that you can parent them better and well. And then you have the melancholy, who is a perfectionist, who wants to be by himself or herself, who can do bad, so to speak, all by herself or himself, and is, you know, is a leader, is also somebody that is very, will I say cerebral now, but, you know, a deep thinker. But then the weak part is they don't like too much interaction because they feel you can't do things the way I want things done. So they do the things by themselves. So imagine you as a parent having all of this temperament as well, because every parent is also one of these temperaments.
Yeah.
So if you're a melancholy temperament parent, what will happen? You're a perfectionist. This way you want your children to be perfect. Nobody is perfect, so to speak. Our perfection is in Christ. God is the only perfect being. We are all working towards perfection. So when you are a melancholy parent, you expect your children to be perfect. So you enter into the zone of overparenting by wanting, yes, it's excellent, because people say, can't I say my child should be easy? I'm not saying that. But then, before you got to your state of perfection, you are also imperfect. So you must allow the child to be and find their own space and have their own work. These days, as motivational speakers and inspirational speakers, we say, oh, your mess becomes your message. You know, your story becomes your glory. So when you now overparent as a melancholy parent, wanting your child to be perfect, what happens to that child? The child has his own mistakes to make, has his own or our own mistakes to make. So when you get into that mood of perfection, not even knowing that this is a baby, how can you say a baby that is maybe 18 months should be quiet and not even cry? Should understand when you say shh, or understand your sign language when you are blinking to say, don't even shout. Pim, I don't want you to hear. So you get into the zone of parenting with your own temperament as well. So you go check your temperament and know who you are as a parent, so that when you are parenting, you will know how you parent as a sanguine is different from how you parent as a phlegmatic, is different from how you parent as a melancholy, is different from how you parent as a choleric. So when you see that parenting style, is also the way you parent the children that are of these 3 temperaments. So we will talk about how you can parent each temperament and their milestones, and talk about the age, what you should be doing at a particular age. Okay? So let's understand that every child comes different. No child is the same. They are not face cap, you know, one size fits all. All those t-shirts, even the t-shirts you say one size fits all. There are t-shirts that can't fit me. You understand? I am big and blessed. So there are t-shirts that if I wear now, can't fit me. So you can't say one size fits all. It doesn't work. Except you are a size 0. That's when you say one size fits all. So understand the same thing. Every child is not the way. You don't do communal training. There's time for that. There's time for parenting the individual, parenting them according to temperament, parenting them according to their love languages, parenting them according to, you know, what God has told you about them. So that's why I personally call my children prophetic gifts from God. So I know them by what their makers call them. Oh, this person is a prophet, this person is a prophetess, this person is an evangelist or a pastor. So I call them their prophetic names so that they can sit in their office. Why? Because I'm a woman of faith, and then we're kingdom people. So we also parent for kingdom exploits, for both exploits in the kingdom. So you must understand all of that parenting, so that when you are parenting the children, you can parent them holistically. You understand their temperaments, where you understand love language, where you understand what God has, who God has called them to be. And so you parent from the get-go with those knowledge. And please, let's understand this. God is the ultimate parent. And because we are Christians, we are caretakers. We are not their God and shouldn't play God in their lives. We are just there to guide them. We are there to help them become. So you are a parent as a caretaker. So if you live in the zone, like a phlegmatic parent that is a bit fearful, that is a bit, you know, fears things, and gets to the point where, something bad will happen to my child. I want to do this, I'm saving them from the world. They can't get on the internet till they are 25, you know, because bad people are there in the internet. So you transfer the temperament fears that you have to your children, and you don't guide them well. So you must understand the strength and the weakness of each temperament, because you as a parent have your temperament and your parenting style based on your temperament. So know yourself as well, then know the children that you have. It's possible you might do their free parenting programs online that you can go do. And then there are other people that are certified to run personality checks and test on families, and so can help you say this is who the child is based on certain questions that will elicit response from them, and will know who that person is. So let's please understand that, okay? Then when you have young children, where parenting and overparenting starts is if the child, you can have an 18-month-old child, 18 months is already a year and 6 months. And you tell the child, wear this particular color, and the child says, no, I want the pink one. And you say, no, you can't wear the pink dress, or you can't wear the green or blue dress, shirt. And you insist on the child wearing what you want. What are you doing? You are overparenting. Overparenting, because what you are telling the child is, his or her opinion does not count. I had that issue with my son. I would just bring things. Yes, parenting has to be intentional. It has to be intentional. You have to, that's why I said my ABC category of parenting, the consummate parent is the intentional. You are intentional when you are a consummate parent. You can be intentional as an agreeable parent, but you've not learned the skill to say no to your children, to say no to delaying gratification where they are concerned. They've just eaten, and the next thing they want ice cream, they want this. You say, you can go have it. You are not concerned about their health issue. You are not concerned about their sugar intake. Let them just be happy. You know, jollof rice parents or suya parents, you make people happy. So it's okay. It's not okay. When you are a consummate parent, you take charge. Yes, they can be happy. You have routines, you have things, and then you live by values. And that's what I would want to live with us here. Live by your values. What are your values? As I was preparing for this class, I was saying, I had, especially in my mind, God is the ultimate parent. And I said, okay, God, you are the ultimate parent. Oh yeah, how far? So I went back to Genesis, which is one of, they said Genesis 1 and 2 is one of the you know, perfect scriptures. 3 is when chaos came, when man was tempted and everything. And in Genesis 1 and 2, being a perfect parent, God was expressed in what he was doing. After creating the garden, put the man to work the garden, and then gave instructions. I think it's Genesis 1, I'll check, so that I don't quote out of it. It's 16 and to 15 to 17. I'll check it at Genesis 1 or Genesis 2, where it says that God showed them, you know, the garden and said, you can eat of every tree, but this, the tree of good and evil, don't eat. That was boundaries. That was being intentional, setting boundaries for them and saying there, these are our values. You don't do this, you don't do that. So in being a parent, you have to be intentional, and is in setting your values. What are your values? Values are the set principles in which you live your life. So you set your values. It starts with you and your wife setting values, first of all. This is what we will do. This is how we will do our life. And then when the children are of age, you also sit them down and set their personal values so that they have theirs, because your family values may not be totally theirs. I have my personal value. My husband, we have our family value. He has his personal value, and now we've told our children, you need to have your values for yourself. But out of our family values comes our personal values as well, because we live as a tribe, we live as a team. And I tell my children, when you are becoming friends with people, you must be friends with people with similar values. It's not about, oh, being a Christian, being a Muslim or whatever, but yes, we are faith-based, so that counts with us. So when we talk about faithfulness in our family values, faithfulness to God first and faithfulness to ourselves. Has spells as lifts, L-I-F-T-S. L is for love, I is for integrity, F is for faithfulness, T is for togetherness, we do things as a team, S is for service, we serve. So that is our family values. So it's spelled as lift. Int'l Elesin, family values, lifts. Then when it comes to my personal value, it's Pinky, spelled as P-I-N-K-E-Y. P is for I'm very passionate about anything I do. I'm a passionate person. I is for integrity. N is I'm a nurturer. I will nurture till I get results. K is I'm a very kind person. So anytime you meet me, the kindness flows through me. And I tell people kindness is what even a blind man sees, because he will feel your kindness. So I am a very kind person. Then E is excellence. I'm a person of excellence. I might not be, I'm a sanguine by temperament. I'm sanguine choleric. So excellence is a key word with me. They'll say, oh, sanguines are like this, are like that, scattered, they don't do this. The first thing I do every morning is to make my bed. I'm talking to you, I'm directly opposite my bed. My bed is made. That is the first place I win. So it's excellence for me to make my bed every morning before I get out of my room. So in little things that I do, I bring that excellence to bear. And then why for me is saying yes. Yes to God, yes, valuable friendship, yes to things that will bless me. So my children have their own personal values. So teach your children how to have personal values. Because when you do all of that, you won't overparent. So you need to understand that as a parent, you cannot keep, you know, telling your children what to do, because what will happen is when they grow up, they can't take decisions for themselves. When you insist on them, even as young children, dressing or doing things your way, or doing things for them, oh, you can't tie your shoelace, bring it down and let me tie it for you. You do it when the child is 18 months. 3 years, you are still tying shoelace for Johnny. 5 years, you are still tying shoelace for Johnny. 13 years, you are still tying shoelace for Johnny. Johnny is 21 years, just came back, you know, from school. He's even going home from school, and you are still tying shoelace. Oh, Johnny, come here. Your shoe is looking, and you tie. You won't say, Johnny, tie it like this. You say, Johnny, 21. When Johnny is 30, comes home with his wife. You say, Johnny boy, come. Even calling him Johnny boy in front of his wife or fiancé, you killed him. That's overparenting. And you come, Johnny, this is a grown man. And you say, Johnny, come. And his wife is looking at you, tying his shoelace. You know what? I used to do this for Johnny as a boy. Johnny, good boy. And you pat him on the head. That is a confirmed mama's boy. That is a child or a grown man that has been overparented. So it might be good. Oh, that is my love language. My mother, you know, she loves me. Or, you know, our father died when we were very young. Or my father, you know, you make excuses for that act. But please, don't insist on a particular way your children should dress. Yes, my husband will say, where do you draw the line? How do we manage? Because for both of us, he's the overparenting parent. He's the helicopter parent. That hoovers around them. You know how helicopter hoovers around, hoovers and is watching, and that's my husband for you. I am the free range, you know, free soul, just live. I have my own drama, but at the same time, because I'm a consummate parent, because I've learned parenting, because I still go to, just this holiday, we had a teen conference that I paid for and got my two daughters involved with my husband and myself, and we still went to learn. It's not some of these things I don't know them, but we had to be in a community where we will learn together and give feedback together and hear what we are not doing right as a parent. And it was very obvious when my children giving feedback, oh, that daddy is this, I won't sit over you. Once I give you the instruction, what will happen? I let you make your mistake, own your mistake. My daughter is 16 and she's in that zone where, oh, it's time to date, it's time to do this. Oh, mommy, what can we do? My husband is like, they shouldn't even try. Oh, we shouldn't hear this. Oh, that. And I'm like, guy, how far? Even if your parents did that to you, if you were under lock and you know, I had, yes, not full freedom, but I made my mistakes. I tell my story. It's because I made my mistake. I know better now. So I've had conversations with my daughter to say, you know, own your mistake. Do what you have to do. So you have in overparenting the helicopter parents that hovers around the child. You can't watch the child fall. You can't watch the child fail. You can't even let them go across the street to buy something. When you tell them, go to this place something, you sit there, you are standing and watching. Their parents will tell their children, oh yeah, enter box, you know, enter a bus and go to school. And they are sitting behind in the box. They're in the same bus with the child. The child won't know when they entered the back. Some will even hide behind the car. We will say it's safety because of our world. But the truth is, what is happening? You are overparenting. You are overparenting. When you want to rescue your children all the time, before they fall, you are there to catch them. God will even allow you to make mistakes. And then it will help. That's redemption. Before every other thing, there's always a plan B. So he's a parent loving. He keeps saying, can a mother forget a suckling child? A mother cannot forget. He, God, will not forget. But then he lets you be. That's why not everybody is saved. That's why he doesn't, you know, beat everybody over the head to say you must be born again. You come to that knowledge yourself and you make the decision yourself. And it becomes a relationship. Yes, we have helicopter parenting. You move around the child. You don't let the child be themselves. You watch over them. You don't let them experience setback. You don't let them understand that failure is a feedback and it's beautiful. You don't want them to fail. You go to school, teachers cannot even talk to them. Oh, you spoke wrongly to my child. Oh, you hit my child. You did. I'm not saying let the teachers go overboard. Even when you have relatives at home, they can't correct the child. Leave my child for me. So you are overparenting when you do that. When you worry about issues you shouldn't worry about, you're overparenting. As he brushed his teeth, his mouth. You can do that 1 year, 18 months, damn properly. Take a bath properly. So if at 15, you are still supervising the bathing of your child, you've overparented that child. If the child is not physically challenged in any way, then you've overparented. I was reading the story of a lady that is legally blind, and she said the parents never made her know that she was blind because everything they would tell her to try. There are people that their children are not blind, but they make them blind with the way they do things for them. So everything is done by the parents. Right now, we've not been going out because of COVID. Yeah. And I speak, my daughters, I had to bring a program. started teaching them cooking. Before then, they had gone for cooking classes. And right now, in a week, I cook 4 times in a week. Twice, they would team up to cook. And some of those days that they are teaming up to cook, some of the days, my daughter would say, the eldest one would say, let me cook today, you cook the second day. And they will cook. They are 16, 14. I have people that they are 20-something and they can't cook. And you say, what is the big deal about cooking? It's not a man's job, it's not a woman's job, it's a life skill. So if you don't teach them how to cook, how to clean, how to make their beds, how to clean up their space at a particular age, then you've overparented. The place is scattered. You say, go and clear up this place. You say it at the same time you are picking up after them. You're parenting. At 18 months, a child should be able to know how to pick up his or her toys. Pick up that, honey. Pick this up. And let them pick it up. But when you pick it up for them, at 5, you are for them. At 9, you are picking up for them. You are not letting them grow. You are not letting them, be what they should be. When you argue with other adults on how they treat your children, you're also micromanaging children's life. You are overparenting. When you have a high expectation or low expectation of a child, you're overparenting. And what is the high expectation? I talked about a melancholy parent, being a perfectionist and expecting the child to do something the first day and get it right. You as a parent didn't get it right at first. So you expect a child at 5 to write an essay that maybe a 12-year-old child should write, that you should know because you're an author. Your child should be able to write like you. No. Did you teach that child? And then there are milestones for each age. And then when you have low expectations of children, they are 3, and you expect that at 3 they can't get something from the fridge. Yes, it's possible that the fridge has compartments that can be dangerous, but there's a way you can teach a 3-year-old child to go to the fridge and get water for themselves. So when you have low expectation that, oh, at 3 she cannot do this, so she cannot. Okay, somebody was to call me, so my phone got muted. Somebody was trying to call.
Okay.
So what am I saying? Yeah, I was saying something that if at age 3 your child can't go to the fridge by himself or herself to take water, it depends on how your fridge is made. So let's say you are being a safety conscious parent. It's good, but understand this, that there are milestones. So you can go read up, because I can't teach this in a day to say at this age, this is what the child should be doing for himself or herself. But there are milestones that a child that is 3 years should be able to do. There are milestones that a child that is 9 years should be able to do. A child that is 12 years. So when you under-expect what they are supposed to do and keep stepping up to the plate, you are overparenting. Then when you don't give your children chores to do, and you are doing things for them, then you are overparenting. Right now, we have chores for all our children. Every day, as a rule, when COVID started, they were in the boarding house, because my husband felt, oh, he went to the boarding house. I went to the boarding house, but I stopped in junior secondary school and came home. So my husband was like, no, we can't leave them at home. Let them go experience life. Let them go to the boarding house. It was a big deal, because I know what happens, where children mingle, and at the end of the day, your values. But because we've taught them our values, we were able to let them go. And we had kind of set rules that we give them, things that you must know. And every time we drop them off, we tell them those things. There are about 5, and I think they added a 6th one. As we're dropping them, we tell them this. They must, 1, know why they are in school. So it's that you are in school because you want to get an education. 2, you must have friends, and friends with values. We ask you to have friends. 3, you must involve yourself in extracurricular activities. Find what you like. If it's music, if it's sports, do something extra, because education is not just book work, it's other things that you experience. So you must do that. For having your personal devotion, having your faith intact, knowing God for yourself and still having time with God. So time with God is prioritized. Then number 5 is making sure that at the end of the day, you serve. You serve in every way. So your academics is key. Having friends is key. We read it to them. And then later I added being pure in heart. Because you can be pure, say I am pure, but purity comes from the heart. So you say I have the mind of Christ, and you act like that. So when your thoughts are going haywire, you capture it on time. When you want to do something that is not pure, using Philippians 4 verse 8, all things that are lovely and of good thoughts, think on those things and do those things. So we started reading that out to them. So our first daughter went to school. We had those rules. When our second daughter joined her, we had those rules. When the third, which is our boy, joined, we had those rules. And every time we come back, we ask them those questions. What are the 5 rules or 6 rules? And they'll tell us, okay, how did you manage this? Oh, yes, there'll be questions. I'll soon stop. Thank you so much. You know, so at the end of the day, what are the rules? And they will tell us, okay, how did you do this? In your academics, what did you do? Because we are not there to watch over them. So they need to give us feedback. This was what I did. This was what happened. This was how this happened. And from those conversations, we were able to say, okay, you did this right, you didn't do this right. So we take feedback. Now we are all out, and the rules had to change. We had to understand them better. And so, like I keep telling people, oh, it brought my children back to me. That now I know them better. I know their love languages. I know what puts them in the right frame of mind. And then being a mental health practitioner, I also know when they're getting overboard with the things that we do. So at home now, we can overparent. And sometimes I see that in the things we say, oh, we have Netflix at home. Oh, you can't watch this, you can't watch that. And sometimes my daughter freaks. I don't like horror movies. I don't like it. But being in school, she has watched some of the horror movies. And she comes and she says, oh, mommy, this is not as fearful as this. I'm like, yeah, you watched this? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, how did you feel? She said, yeah, it was not so okay, but it's fine. And I'm like, you see, now that you said this, how did it? So I get the feedback. But my husband will totally freak out. Oh, you shouldn't do this. Oh, you shouldn't do that. So there are things that we will say, don't think. As African parents, it's natural. But we have to deliberately tell ourselves now, let's stop it. Let's stop it. Even in homework, we overparent. I see parents doing homework. I was PTA chairperson for a school for 5 years. And I will see parents in the car park, you know, doing homework for children. I always tell my children, if you don't do your homework, you don't submit when it, let the teacher spank you, time you, or do whatever they want to do. I really don't care. You have an assignment, you are not doing it, you've gone to play, then you will not tell me, mommy, if I don't do this tonight, this is that. I will try my best if I know I have input. If I don't have input, I can't help you. Go and score the 0, or go and be beaten, or go and be disciplined. That is me for you. So that's why I say I'm a free-range parent. But then with learning, knowing that they can make their mistake, but you also have to guide them. Because God in Genesis did everything to say, this is it, this is it. These are the boundaries. Set your rules, set your boundaries. And when you overparent, you stifle the creativity of your children. They can't be themselves. They can't think for themselves. They can't explore. They can't do things. I know what my daughters have done so far this period. They've made pizza on their own. They will go to YouTube, look at things, they will make pizza. We just beg them, please don't burn the house. They've done facial masks. I wish I could turn and show my daughter's picture, you know, with her facial mask. I'm not so much into beauty and stuff like that. But I have girly girls that want to, they will tell you today, mommy, we are doing this rice water for their hair. And I will tell them, don't go and use water that tomorrow you'll be bald, you know, because, or bald or whatever, because they want to experiment. But I let them do it. Sometimes my husband will put their rice water in the fridge, he will go and throw it away. Sometimes they will put tea bags, they will put it in a Ziploc, put it in the fridge. They will tell you later they want to put it on their eyes to massage. My husband will say, what is that? You want to make yourself blind, blah, blah, blah. He will go and move it. You know, so what am I saying? We can overparent by our actions. And what we do, we give them enough chores, we're overparenting. When we overdo things and don't let them take decisions, we're overparenting, and we will stifle their creativity. we will discourage them. And then what we don't know is when we overparent, our children will grow up as anxious children with anxiety issues because you've not allowed them to be mentally strong themselves, not allowed them to fail and see setback as a feedback and see failure as a feedback. If they are struggling with their grades, it's not, oh, you are not reading, you are not doing this. You don't ask them questions that will help them. Okay, what would you have done better? How would you have done this? And help them come to a conclusion that they can do this on their own. If you need to help them with lesson teachers, fine, but don't help them. I know when I stopped doing assignments, I said, helping my children with assignments. If you want to color out of the box, in the box, anything, color anyhow. Why? It is beautiful, and go and submit it. Until date, when people ask their children, no jokes, in honors row in their school. My first daughter, when she entered school, she was the first in her class. She was made the class prefect, and she was like that before they even started honors row then. And then when they started honors row, my daughter for 1 full year was there. Even when they were doing something in the school and they wanted parents that took to online training quickly, to online schooling, they came. Channels came to my house to interview us because our children were already out there enjoying the online schooling. Yes, there are issues with it, but they were already enjoying it. Why? Because we let them be. We let them grow. We let them think. And if tomorrow we are going to tell them, oh, you are going to school abroad, if we overparent and they can't think for themselves, how will we let them live with their peers outside? Which day was this COVID season? My daughter, we have a family magazine called the Complete Family Magazine. We've done 3 editions now. And then I have the Complete Man group, have the Complete Woman group. I teach courses in all of this group. And all of a sudden, as we were talking about the impacting our world, our daughter said they want to do the complete thing. The truth is, we didn't tell them to do that. And I tell people when they post on Instagram, because we give an age for posting, being on social media is from age 13. They don't get a phone till they are 13. They get a laptop at age 12. And so they have milestones that they look up to. So at age, how do I say it now? At that age 13, they get to have an Instagram account. I see what they're doing, but they're on their own. Whatever they post, whatever they share, I see it like every other person and I advise. So when they are doing their videos, I don't even sit there because I want to correct the way they speak. So I don't sit. Their father, I tell, don't sit there. Let them do their thing. We will not go like every person, watch and come and give them feedback. You should have done this, but I will tell our friends, please go watch what they are doing. Because as parents, you know how you are. Oh, my child is doing this. We want to clap for them, even when they are making mistakes. So we tell our friends that are into trainings and they're into things, and please check what they are doing and check if they are doing properly. And they give us feedback. And some of them, their children have also started subscribing to their Instagram channel to check out the complete things. It's their idea, it's them being out there. Some days back, my daughter, the 14-year-old, called me and said, Mommy, I replied someone. I said, what did you reply? He said, there's somebody that is an influencer on Instagram, and the person was talking about Jesus and gays, and saying that God does not hate the gifting, but hates what they do, and said some things. And somebody replied, because she liked it and commented, that somebody replied the guy saying, you are listening to a book that is old book, talking about the Bible. You are listening to this, and said some very nasty things. That she replied the person and said, it's not just an old book. Myself and this guy, she doesn't even know the guy for speaking, crying out loud. She doesn't know him. She doesn't know him. Said myself and him, we are faith people. We believe in Jesus, and the Bible is not just an old book. It's a book that is a guide. And she answered the person and said, the person must repent before it's too late. And she was telling me, a white person. I'm like, girl, number one is you are both. I'm like, you want them to come after you? You don't know that they are cyber bullies. You don't know how these people are, you know. But that was my fear speaking out. And I left her. As we were doing devotion, it kept coming to me that you didn't handle this thing well. You would have told her, yes, she did well, because she gave me an example. You know how I felt when I saw that comment? I said, how did you feel? She said, you know how somebody will come and say they want to abuse daddy and say, daddy is old school or something. I will fight the person and say, no, if this is his idea. So that was how I felt. How can the person say the Bible is old school and talk about God that way? So I saw a child that was defending her faith already. I saw a crusader. I saw somebody that understood her fate and could rise up to say, I'm taking this fight. But the first feedback was cyberbullying. That was the conditioning. So if I had shut her down, because I now told the dad, and I said, I didn't handle it. I talked about the cyberbully. If God is bringing her as a crusader and as an influencer, I should let her own her voice, even if they bring bullies, because they've done some things to my children online, and I've had to report to Instagram. I said, so even if they bring up those things, what will happen? I will step up as a parent then and say, because they are still minors, take up decision what this is about. But not tell her not to reply. It's our opinion, let her own it. So we had to call her back and say, you know what? This is how far. When you're speaking, you are talking to people, say it in this way and make sure you say it in love. And then also know that whatever you are saying, you feel is right. And that was it. So what am I saying? We must learn not to overparent so that we don't bring up anxious children and children that will become stressed adults later because they can't straight, they can't do anything without talking to mommy and daddy. Mommy and daddy rarely. God is their parents. Let them learn to talk to God, and when they feel right, let them go ahead and support their decisions. So I hope I've been able to talk on this. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was in depth. That was profound. As you were talking, a couple of people were sending questions in, so I think we should just go into the Q&A at once. I mean, your presentation was so perfect and so on time. I don't know whether you timed yourself at all or anything, but the way everything
I did.
Okay. It was so on point. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bless you.
Yeah, thank you.
There's a particular question that has been on my mind, that has been on practically everybody's mind. Even Pastor Chris sent in the question now, and he put it so well. Let me ask. So this is the question. At what stage?
Thank you so much.
At what stage do you think it is safe to expose the kids to street skills, like going to buy things, going to school on their own, joining public transport, etc.? How do you strike a balance between security and exposure?
Okay, let me put it this way. At, was it 9 or 10? I think my daughter, the second was either 6 or 7. So either 9 or 10. She's about 14 now. Then the other was about, they are 2 years apart. We have 3 children, one 16, the other 14. The third is going to be 12 soon. So at a particular age, that was over 5-6 years back. So that would be, Grace was about 10 or 11, and Davina was about 9. So what happened was my husband, I think we didn't have bread at home. We used to live in a state in Ojodu. And so, thank you so much, Gilbert. Thank you. Thank you, Wale. Thank you, Esther. Thank you, everyone that has sent the message. That Nana, thank you. And my husband went to the gate because the estate has a gate, and then the street in which the estate is a close, has a gate. And my husband went to the gate and told them, 2 of them, to buy bread outside, and stayed at the street gate. It's a distance. And stayed at the street gate and let them go buy bread. And they left and came back. So when he was telling me, I said, why did you do that? He said, no, they need to learn. That was even before, I think it was before our first daughter went to the boarding house. It was before that. But what he was doing was obvious to me, that he wanted them to be street smart. Till date, when we go to the mall, we try to say, okay, you have a spending allowance. When we started, we will give them like 1,000 each in the mall. We're in the mall together. Go buy whatever you want. We don't follow them. We're in the mall. So we just walk around the mall together, maybe like ShopRite. We live in Lagos. So enter into ShopRite, give them maybe 1,000 or 2,000. This is your budget. Buy whatever you want. And we all go out. I can predict what everybody will buy, but we let them buy. Our son will always buy something to eat. And if he buys a toy, it will be something that is above his money. And will come and meet me and, mommy, give me extra money. Our first daughter will buy sometimes something to eat, something she wants, might not come to ask for extra money. Some people come. But our middle child, the second girl, will always have change and will buy something to eat, something that is a toy or something to read, and will have change. And she's also the one that is an entrepreneur. Hi, baby. Dotun's baby, I can see you. Fine girl. You know? So at the end of the day, understand this, that you must start teaching them gradually. And it starts with you taking them. If the school is nearby or not nearby, you start. We put our children in school buses before. It was deliberate. So that they be part of the school bus. They drive them around and they end up at home. So they know that. And my son would tell me, as we're entering the streets, Mommy, drop me. I will meet you at home. He wants to experience walking down because he has seen other children walk down from the gates with their screen, and we will drop him. Meet us at home, sometimes with his sister. But we're already in the streets. But what is that helping them to do? Is helping them understand that we need to let them go. So what am I saying? The assignment today, I will go get a book and read out some things to us about how we can understand the milestone for each child. There's a milestone where you allow the child to take decision, as small as the dress to wear. So when you want to expose them to when can they go to school, yes, now, I know security issues, but like I keep saying, God is the ultimate protector, because your child can still be at home and bad things can still happen to them, including sexual abuse, including, other things. Because people you bring in, if you don't vet them, you are not particular about, anything can happen. So it's for you to know that you are just a caretaker. God, my anxiety, because most times it's parents that are phlegmatic in temperament and melancholy times that are fearful, that will not allow their children to say, enter a school bus, go for a field trip, go for this. I know parents then that will say their children cannot go for field trip. I know parents that will drive with the bus and go for field trip with the children. Not that the children have physical challenges, because that is a different case. If a child is physically challenged, the child might need extra help. But this one, there's nothing wrong with the child. I will give you some of the books. I will bring some of them. So know the milestones, and then go check on Google, check. You will see milestones and do all of that. Before I had my children, in terms of talking to the children in the tummy, I learned that by reading books, by praying about it, and then looking at the milestones. I used to have there's this 360 something on parenting, 360 parenting. We have that degree parenting. There's a part of the team as well. I talk on fatherhood in 360-degree parenting. There's a package for that. I have a calling towards men on them mastering fatherhood. So I talk to men about fatherhood. That is a calling from God for me. I talk to men about fatherhood. So there are things I tell them, about mastering fatherhood, what they should do, and everything. So that is there. I have 2 books for fathers. So I will share the link later with Dotu for those that want to buy the e-copy. On my book, there's Father Mentor, and then there's Fathers You Must Take the Lead. That is also a book on parenting, but for fathers. Mothers can read it and learn so that you know how to mentor and how to make a difference every day in the life of your children. So I say you are a made father. A made father is a man, as in making a difference every day in the life of the child. What Dotu just did now is parenting. The child is probably wondering, what is he doing, looking at the screen? And he brought her, she saw me, she listened, she waved. You saw me waving at a particular time to say, oh, she can see me, and I waved back. That was non-verbal cues. She was waving, she didn't talk, but I knew she was just, I'm here, and I did the same thing back to her. So you'll be wondering, who was I waving to? It was to Dotun's daughter. That is parenting already. Bringing her into his world and letting her see what she needs to see, and now she has gone. So sometimes we don't even bring our children into our world. We don't teach them things. We don't let them know. Your children are watching you. If you exhibit fear, they will have the same fear. Oh, it's bad out there. Oh, there are criminals out there. Oh, everybody is a pedophile. Oh, this is that. No. There are conversations to have at particular age. There are things to do. There's a book by Praise Fawawe on parenting. I will encourage you guys to get it. I will see if I can send the link to you as well to purchase it. And he does a lot of parenting stuff. I do on fatherhood. I now talk to mothers because of the Complete Woman, because it's part of the program I do. But what am I saying? There are a lot of books. And then there's a book on parenting which I've used over time, which is Stormy or Martin's book on the praying wife, the praying parent, you know, the praying husband, and things like that. Let me just get some books. Just hold on a bit. Let me get them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think I have some books here. So this is The Power of a Praying Parent by Stormy or Martin. It's by my bedside, because that way you learn how to pray for the children. It's a very, very, very good book. It talks about how becoming a praying parent, releasing your child into God's hands, securing protection from harm. So it's in the way you pray. I'm a prayer. How you can make them feel loved and accepted. Establishing an eternal future. Honoring parents and resisting rebellion. How to pray for them to maintain good family relationship. How to attract godly friends and role models. How to develop a hunger for the things of God. How to be a person that God created. Following truth and rejecting lies, which is very key at this time. Because there's so much lies out there. What are you teaching them? When we have family devotion, which we do every night, we read a book of Proverbs a day. So the person for that day is reading, we read a book of Proverbs, and then we're studying the New Testament. So we've done Hebrews, yeah. We're studying John now. We've studied Acts of the Apostle. We did over a month. So we read like 15 verses of scripture in whatever scripture we are studying. And then we just go like that. Philippians, we're studying them bit by bit, and we take a chapter. It depends on how many verses in that chapter, and we keep it in small. So 2 or 3 people. Sometimes it's 15. You know? Yes, you will get that recording later. So The Power of a Praying Parent, I recommend it. It's a powerful book that you will use in praying. The anxiety you have, you will release. Okay? You will release it out. Then I talked about this 360-degree parenting. I am part of the team. We even have a group on Facebook, and we did like a conference on it. I talked on fatherhood. I'll see if I have the clip and I will share, because 2 books written for fathers called Fathers You Must Take the Lead and Father Mentor. I'm going to get my book as well, because I just realized I didn't put my book out here, so I'll put it out here. Then there's Strictly for Parents, though it's on sexuality for parents. This is also very key. By Praise for What. Let me get mine, but that is for fathers, but mothers can read it. Just 1 minute. I will get mine and show you as well. 1 minute. Okay, so I'm back here. So this is mine. I talk to fathers. So this is my first book. All my books, most times I design with myself and my family. So this is Fathers You Must Take the Lead. My first book for fathers. And then the latest book, Father Mentor. It's for fathers as well. So it helps you to leave a worthy legacy for your sons and your daughter. So it talks about parenting style, talk about you mentoring, and then how to make a difference every day in the life of your children with the things that you do. So for that father that is fearful, your temperament is at play and what you see. So when you take prayer and you take these children to God, it will help you. So that's that.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mrs. Bridget. The second question, let me just quickly jump to the second question. How do you correct children without making them hate you? As a father, most times the mother leaves the role of discipline to you. You are the one who disciplines the kids, while mother consoles them. At the end, the kids hate you and love their mom.
That is a laugh. Okay, thank God you are saying that. And because I talk to men, I understand it. Yeah. So it depends on the kind of family you're from. For some people, it's the mothers that discipline, and the fathers are very, very friendly. My husband is the very friendly one. Yeah. He's a bit agreeable.
Same as my family.
Beautiful.
I'm the one that's...
Yes. You are the friendly father. Yes. You are their body. You are the go-to person. Yeah, so my husband is that kind of thing. We go too far, but when he wants to discipline, sometimes I'm like, you're too harsh on these children, because I won't go his route. But what are we saying? First of all, as parents, be on the same page. Children can be manipulative, can be very, very manipulative. So as a rule, when you come to ask me something, as a child, I will tell you, let me think about it. And while I'm thinking, I'm consulting with my husband. This child said XYZ. Is he okay? And so if he says yes, I tell the child, I thought about it and it's fine. You can go. Do whatever you want to do, or you can have whatever you want to have. Because if you are not careful, when they understand that one person is a weak parent or has an agreeable style or is a baby parent and not a consummate parent, they will not consult. They will play to that person's weakness and be asking that person for approval, validation, and discipline. They know that you, that is the baby parents, will never do anything solid. So they will run over you. So first of all, as parents, agree together. God forbid, even if you are separated or whatever, agree. It must be the same rules when the person comes to this person's house. Because why am I saying this? Maybe somebody overseas is listening, or somebody that is separated is listening, or anything. Yeah. We tell people as family landlords, don't bring your friendship drama or marriage issue into parenting. Be on the same page. Don't be seen as the ice cream parent, where they will lick you, and lick you out of shape. So they are playing on your intelligence, and so don't do that. Be co-parents. Parents, set the rules, set the boundaries, and whoever is in charge of discipline should be the one in charge. But the other one can talk. So, and what you do is you set the rules, and when they are growing up, let them know, okay, if you are doing this, this is feedback for you. You do this, you do that. What will be the consequences when you do XYZ? Let them choose their own discipline. How do you call it now? Choose what you would discipline them with. So if you tell me, oh, I won't watch TV for 1 week if I don't wash the plates, you chose it as a child. So it's written down. It's like having a family constitution, and it's there. These are consequences, because there must be rules, there must be guidelines, there must be boundaries set, and there must be consequences for action as well as reward for action. So it's not only when they do something wrong you punish. When they do something good, do you reward? And it must be known, so that when you reward actions and you set rules to have consequences, they will understand from the get-go. So nobody will feel that mommy is the kind one, daddy is not kind. No, if they see it, it won't be noticeable. So agree on rules together if they are old enough to agree. From age 3, 4, you can start agreeing with them on rules. If you do S, why is it, this is it, and it's there. If they can read, write it out for them. It's there. You don't make your bed, you can't have a snack, or you can't have something, or you can't watch TV. Or if you can watch TV, if it was for 1 hour, you will watch it for 30 minutes because you didn't make your bed. It starts with consequences, because they will face consequences of every action, even as adults. So it starts with you teaching them that from the young age. And if you are the parent to discipline them, no, we don't beat our children. We don't. Because for me, if I start beating, I will overbeat, because I was beaten as a child. For that memory and everything, if I do it, I will injure them. So I stopped. Are you getting me? And then when you know the temperament of your children, you know how to discipline them. If you tell a melancholy or a phlegmatic to their room, you are helping them, you've not punished them. Because they like being on their own. So you have not punished them. They will, it's not discipline, let me put it that way. That's not consequence for discipline. Because they are introverted. They will enjoy their own company and do bad all by themselves. Tell a sanguine to go to their room, the child will cry, because they're energized by people.
Yeah, thank you.
They're energized by people. Yeah.
Thank you. In fact, this last response is a good segue to the next question. And it says here that how do you deal with sensitive children, those that cry when you scold them or use harsh tones?
Okay.
Yeah, that, yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, see, that's your daughter's count. Send me to my room. Yeah, if she's that temperament, that's enjoyment. She'll just go there and cruise, and discipline her at all. You will have to do something that will get her. So how do we do this? Let's understand this. One, the 5 love languages. Okay? There are people that love words of affirmation. Just like you talk about couples, children love it too. Talk about physical touch. You have children that are huggers. I have a son that wants to hug, he wants to cuddle, he wants to be there with me. You know, he just comes, mommy, he's touching my tummy. He has a name for my tummy. He says, don't be saying it because he's old now, and now he's getting to that age of awareness, and please don't bring me into your conversation and be telling them what I do to you privately. And I say, yeah, I know, but you know I'm a trainer, so please give me permission. You don't do that anymore, but you know, yes, my son is a hugger. He has so much love to give, okay? I'm like that too. And then we have a daughter that doesn't want the hug, his words of affirmation, encouragement and everything. The other one is, you know, quality time and acts of service. And for that quality time, just sit with her, watch a movie with her. And if she's watching a movie, she can rewind it. Oh, I didn't get what the person said. Oh, and you're like, what is it? You can't watch. A movie of 30 minutes can take you 1 hour, 30 minutes, because she will rewind as if she's learning script writing. She will rewind, hear the words. Oh, I didn't get it. Oh, how was the person feeling? Oh, that's not right. And she's conversing as if she's in the movie. But she wants you to spend quality time with her. So you have to be in her world. So for a sensitive child that cries, I am a crybaby. As an adult, I still cry. But it's my makeup. So how do you help that child? Don't let their tears move you, okay? Don't let their tears move you. Because sometimes it is frustration that is making them cry. Sometimes when they are too happy, they cry. So if there's something to be corrected, don't let that tears move you. And if you don't want to see the tears, if they are older children, like we have a WhatsApp group for us that have phones, because from 13 you can have phones. My son doesn't have a phone, so he uses my phone for his conversations and everything. So I mind what I put on my status, because his friends are also my friends. You understand? Because he uses my phone to talk to his friends, and they have WhatsApp group. So I'm part of the group. So sometimes I'll tell him they've sent a message, go reply. Sometimes if it's somebody I know very well, I'll reply. He's not here now, he will come and reply. Some I don't even touch. There are people that he has deactivated from, because I share my trainings and things. Maybe I put things that are not right. He will feel, they will start laughing at me. I say, why am I talking on the phone like that? I say, but you tell them it's not your phone. You're not entitled to a phone yet. So let them know. That is our rule in this house. So when it comes to those things, we make it. So for the sensitive child, we have one of our daughters, very, very sensitive, but she's the one that is also very, very outspoken. So we tell her, you need to understand this, that we're saying this does not mean we mean you harm, and you keep talking until they grow up. And they need to understand that feeling frustrated over things and crying will not solve the situation, will not solve the problem. You need to not feel frustrated. Tell the person how you're feeling, and before then, count 1 to 10, teach them coping mechanism so that they won't cry. It's not as I'm an adult that I don't cry that much, but I get frustrated easily. If I'm saying something, I'm doing things, but now the tools I have in my kitty, I can time off. If I'm getting to that zone where I'm feeling frustrated, I time out. I'll go do something else. I'll go play. I'll just go catch up with someone, and then I'll come back to my resourceful zone. So you as a parent, learn to put a sensitive child and explain that he or she is sensitive is okay. Even Jesus wept, okay? And something made him weep. So something will always make them weep. So ask them questions. It's in asking questions you will get into their head. Don't help them fix it. Why are you crying? What is this making you feel? So I ask my son sometimes, why are you feeling frustrated? And you see their physiology. When it starts coming, you see them rising. You see it. You see their voice coming down. You hear the cry before you see the tears. So when they get to that zone, look for coping mechanism. Can I help you cope with this? What are you feeling? So when you teach them those tools, it will stop. Because if you don't teach them, they will go as adults and still at work. Then when I was working in the company, I used to cry at work, and one of my managers used to hate it because I can't even explain. I would start, he would say, please, please. I said, sir, please don't even be moved. My husband, the first day I cried, when we got married, my husband went to bring a bucket and put it in front of me. That was wicked in my head, but it cured me. So my tears does not move my husband till today. Even if I'm talking and I can't explain, I'm crying. I don't know why I cry. I don't. But I know it's a sign of frustration. And if I'm too happy, you do something kind for me, I'm like, oh, person just sent me this. I'll be talking to somebody, say, did this, I'm crying. And I'm like, God, what is this? It used to bother me. And when I prayed, God was like, that is who you are. That is how. But now is the coping mechanism to help you not to cry. And so I've learned it as an adult. So teach your child to cope and ask, is it a frustration? Are you crying because you're frustrated? Are you crying because that is just who you are? Are you crying because something made you upset? Are you crying because something made you glad? No. Once you know, you can help the child deal.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you again. Wonderful response. Wonderful response. It was a funny question. I think Pastor Oyi asked in the group here. It says, in this day and age, is boarding house schooling encouraged for children? Yeah, that was the question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Let me use as our 3 children were in the boarding house. And what was the reason? Like I said, my husband went to the boarding house. I went to the boarding house for the first 2 years of my life and left. And I left because I think my mom became scared, because by the time, there was a time I went to a friend's house to call. And they were like, if I can go out to a friend's house to call, I can go to any other place. So that put the fear in them and like, okay, fine, come home. And I was glad I went home, and I went back in Form 6. So by the time I went back in Form 6, I was more matured, I could take decisions. So I also went to a boarding house. But what did that do for us? One, it helped us blend with a lot of people. It helped us know people's values, you know, because our family values are not other people's values. So it will help us mix with other people without being judgmental. And then you will see the good, the bad, and the ugly there. So it's like preparing them for life at the end of the day. Having online learning, there are people abroad that do online schooling normally, even before COVID. But what they do is build community with other online parents, and they help. Because your children still need interpersonal skills. They still need skills of working with others. That's what the normal school should give them. That is what church should give them. Mixing with people, being in classes and everything. So for us, the boarding house was, there are things we can't do for them where we've taught them values. Now go test the values. Go to the boarding house. You'll be faced with mean girls and boys. You'll be faced with people. How do you decide? There are days that when we do call, because they have house parents in the school where my children go to, there are days when we call and my daughters are talking, sometimes even crying. Oh, this person did this, this person did that, and we'll talk. And when I go for visiting, oh, who is that person? Can I meet the person? And if they say it's okay, I call the person and we just chat. Oh, who are you? We always tell them we want to know your friends. We want to know their values. We want to know everything. So most of their friends, parents are now our friends because we want to know who they are friends with. So what else did for them? Like my son that was very clingy. He was very, very clingy even as a child. And because he's the hugger and everything, he wants mommy, he wants this. He had to go. It was tough for me, even as a parent, seeing him go. The girls, it was a lot easier. Recently, one of my daughters sent an Instagram post of a grown man being bottle fed by the mom. And then the 12-year-old child that was being screamed at the mom, he said, Mom, this is what you guys do to boys. You are grown, you are still bottle 12, you are shouting at yourself, go do that. But for the boys, you don't shout like that. So I was just laughing. She's even here, and she just walked in and she said, it's true. You know? So what am I saying? You need to do your homework. Do your homework to know the kind of boarding house. And then with COVID now, I don't think a lot of homework, and know the kind of system on there, so that you are also, I won't say monitor, but you are sure, but because they are still minors, I'll grow up faster. By the time my son came, bed, because it's part of their routine in school. There are things I don't shout about anymore. Oh, mommy, come and help me do this. he can do it himself. And now, even when I try, he say, no, he has been taught from home and here, because I used to step up to help when he's not in that zone. Now, nobody's helping him do those things because the boarding house toughened him up a bit. But not every child can go to the boarding house. So know you expose them to the boarding house.
Thank you so much, ma. Thank you, ma. Thank you. I think network is hanging a bit on my side. I think it's from my end.
Okay.
Okay. So basically, I think I want to open the floor to anyone who might have a particular question. We just have a few more minutes for the Q&A left. So I'm in the. Most of you guys have your videos off. Can I see, is there any indication, does anyone that has a question? Nana, do you have a question you might want to ask? Nana, are you there? Okay. Okay. I can't get any feedback from anyone. Ejiro, do you have a question? Okay, let me unmute you. Hello, are you there? Onome?
Yes, I'm here. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. So, yeah, you have a question, right?
Yes,
Okay.
I am wondering at what age do we determine the temperament of a child actually? Because I don't know, for a 2-year-old, is it easy to discover?
Yeah, you can. If you study the temperament, Ejiro, thank you for your question. If you study you will know if, for that age, you will know if this child is strong-willed in the way they refuse food, in the way you tell them do this and they say no, you will know. So you can't really put them in a category. But when you read the temperament, you will know the things that are easy for them to understand in the way they play, in the way they do. So if you have a child that is 2 years old, and the way he or she plays and cannot even remember anything, even if you say, go tell your daddy, give your daddy this, and in going to meet daddy, the child stays to the TV and doesn't go to meet the daddy. At the end of the day, you know that that is a playful child. You know, mainly because sanguines have that weakness of being playful. So when you look at them, when you don't know totally, because it's until they take the assessment play, how they study, this person is strong-willed, this person is weak-willed or not. But like I always tell people, there's no temperament that is the best. There's no temperament that is whatever. God deals with us. It's men that classify temperament. Deals with us. We have a personality. Just know the child's personality. And so you can look at the child and create your own. Praise However, for example, has a temperament according to cars. You have Oma, have convertible, have Ford, you know, according to cars. It's because he did the study. So you, Onome, can now say, how is my family? Let me have mine like this. And you check, oh, this person is strong-willed. This person is not so, is agreeable, you know. I did my ABC of parenting by myself. We have 3 categories. The agreeable parent agrees to anything, can have rules and everything. The baby parents will learn and put things into action and take from every and just be. Any age limit for your guy? No, there's no age limit. Till the person, I'm still a hugger till today. So there's no age limit for that. All you now need to do with the person because of predators is teach how to hug. Like when I hug outsiders, I've gone to Ghana before and was hugging somebody and hugged. You know how we do side hug? We don't want our breast, our body to touch the person, and we did side hug. My children did the same thing, and the guy said, how do you people hug? You're always side hugging. That's not how to hug. And we started laughing. But it's how we do it so that we're telling ourselves, Don't put things in people's head. But the true hug is to truly hug. And hug with, you understand what I'm saying? Some of us, we hug, there's a way we hug. We are hugging fully, but there's a way we detach ourselves. People will still know. You know those kind of Christianese hugging. That's why we don't put things. You are hugging, you are hugging. So we need to learn all of that. And just in how do I put it now? Just to show the person that, yes, you are fully in it. Don't mind my son. He just walked in, and so I gave him thumbs up. He was greeting me. He's the hug, and he slid. He just went out of the room, so I had to laugh. So what am I saying? You still hug them. So as old as he is, I still hug. And the hugs will still be there because they will get to age, they don't even want the hug. But hugging is therapeutic for children. Please understand that. But you need to teach them as well so that they know who will hug them, and there's something more than that. So it's just to teach them on predators and co. But please, hugging is for life. Husband and wife, you still need to hug yourself, not to talk of parents.
Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Onome, we're good, right? That answers your question. Thank you.
Yes, it does. It does.
It does. All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Pastor Tony, I think, or it's Timendu. Timendu, you want to ask the question? I'll unmute you quickly. Okay, this thing is hanging. Okay, Timendu, I can hear you now. Your audio is a bit broken.
Yes, the audio is here. I can't hear it.
Your audio is broken. I don't know why.
Breaking.
Yeah, can you ask your question again? You want to try again?
If not, you can put it in the chat box. If
okay, you know what? You can type it down in the chat box. We'll take it before we wrap up the Q&A. I think Pastor Tony, somebody else was raising their hands. Who was it? Okay, Darrow. Darrow wants to ask a question. Darrow, I'm unmuting you now.
Okay.
All right, Darrow, we can hear you. Or is it?
Yeah,
Sorry.
Good afternoon. This is Joke.
Okay, Joke.
Hi. Okay. Thank you, Mark, for the presentation. I am really like the part you talked about value, family value. Now, my question is, do you have to sit down with the family to draw this up, or is it by what you tell them constantly and what they see you do? Then these also go into the family vision. Do you also share this with the kids, or is it just daddy and mommy that have this big plan for the family, what they hope to do in the next 3, 5, 10 years, or do you bring them kids, and if yes, and what age is it advisable to share this with the kids as well?
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. What do I have to say about that? When we started our family values and vision, it was 2 of us together. So the vision has not changed, which is, basically living life as godly people and impacting and influencing others to do the same. So that's what we're doing. And the value, like I said, is lifts. 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 It spells as lift. And is love for God, love for self, love for others. Integrity with God, with self, with others. Faithfulness to God, being faithful in our service. And things like that. Then togetherness, we do everything as a team. So we call ourselves Team Elesin. So they are part of our team. They are part of our tribe. So our WhatsApp group, we have Team Elesin Family Club. That's for married couples. Then we have our personal WhatsApp group as the 5 of us, but our son doesn't have a phone now. So it's the 4 of us, and it's called Tunde Elesin Tribe. So what are we saying? That togetherness is there. So when we started this is about 6 years or 7 years ago. we went for a getaway. As a couple, we always do that. When it's our anniversary, we'll try to get away and just spend some time talking and saying, okay, how have we fared this past year? And so that was how we started. And that was, I think, one we had in South Africa. And we wrote out a 10-year plan of when our daughter was at that time, this person will be in school, or if he's abroad, we put it out there. You know, when you say you're writing, it's written. Habakkuk 2 says, write the vision and make it plain. It was plain. We wrote it out and everything. I think I have the notes. I might read it out before the end of this. And we wrote it out and then put the values and everything we were doing. What will we do in terms of making impact? What are the things we're interested in? We put it out there. And so when the children came of age to an extent, we started telling them these are our values. So you must live with those values because we are the parents now. But right now we are in the stage where they know enough to set their personal values. You know, to set their personal, okay, Dayo, I saw that, okay, I'll answer. So it's now left for you to set your personal values. And the truth is, your family values and their personal values will not be far apart. Because how they are nurtured is what they will become. Is who taught you how to sing that you will sing like. Do you get? So even if you are an R&B kind of person and you learned from rhythm and blues is R&B, and you learned from, let's say, Fela, Afrobeat, and Fela taught you how to sing. Even if you are doing R&B, it will be different from the normal R&B. Why? Fela will play in you. And so you will have that essence. So your essence, which is your family value, is what you will have. So they will form theirs when they come of age. But it's very key you start telling them this is what we represent. There are things you can't do. Like recently I had a conversation with my 16-year-old and she was talking about reputation. Oh, she feels if she does something wrong, we have a reputation as being influencers, that people will say this. And I said, girl, your mother does not have any reputation. My reputation is in Christ. And Christ at one time said he had no comeliness, no beauty, nothing at all. So there was a point in his life, even the father deserted, left him because the sin of the world was upon him. It was a decision he made to take on our sin. So he was like, you can't, but there was still reconciliation afterwards. So if you make your mistake, provided it won't kill you, provided it won't kill somebody else, I am still here to catch you afterwards. You will not know better. That mistake is a setback, but own your journey. I can own it for you. So don't think if you do anything, say, oh, my parents will be, because that will make you live a double life where you are a good girl at home and a bad girl outside. I don't want you to live that kind of life. Integrity is key for us. Don't export what is not working at home. So be yourself in here and out there. So if you are dancing and she wants to dance, she's a creative person. She's dancing crazily. My husband, you know those kind, you're a bambio. I said, no. You're the one thinking her dance is suggestive. How do you really dance? There's no way you dance that your body will not shake. If you really dance the African way, so your eyes and let her be. You will only say, not everybody will understand this dance from this perspective. And let her be. Do you get what I'm saying? So it starts with both of you. And as they grow, if you see you see this is a tree. Behind, this is my family picture, 5 of us in the head of my husband. It's deliberate. This is where I'm projecting from my room, but this is how my room is. And so this tree is telling you, let me see if I can read it out. This is the family picture. It talks about family. Like branches of a tree, we grow in different directions, but our roots remain as one. It's deliberate. We grow as a family like branches. They will grow. They will become their own person, but their roots remains one. So that root is the first thing you set up for them, telling them values. This is the picture. This is all of us, because we're a team. You get it? So this is deliberately done. Okay, now I have to give back. Okay, it's back there. So the roots at the end of the day is what is key. So right now, you and your husband are the roots, but they will grow into different things. You can't force them, do this, do that. You can only teach your values. And when it's time to marry, take a decision. They have lived their values up front with you guys, and so they will take it based on what you've taught them. You don't take the decision for them. They will marry their values, be friends with their values, do business with people with their values, and that is it. And if they make mistake, glory be to God, you pray them back in. That's why God is their father and mother. You are just a stakeholder and a caretaker.
Wow.
Okay?
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's been wonderful listening to you. There's a last question I just want to quickly take from Dio.
Okay.
And I will just do it very briefly, like maybe in 2 minutes. And it says, when a girl is approaching teenage age and you start noticing a kind of distancing, what do you do?
Okay. What I would say is understand that as they are growing, they will distance themselves because they now know better. Thank you, proud African roots. Thank you so much, sis. Thank you. They now know that at the end of the day that they are growing up, okay? And when they are growing up, they want to be their own person. So first of all, find out what is happening to the child. And how have you been a parent? Did you just let the child go without checking up on her? Because emotionally, she's going through the teenage stage. There are things she might be going through emotionally that she needs to open up to you. So the distancing is not bad, but find out why is she distancing herself? So it might be issues dealing. There are people dealing with bullying, dealing with body shaming, with peers and things like that. So it's a lot for them. But if you don't have these conversations, it will go. And then as mothers, we need to teach our children self-love. I am big on that. And I found out that a lot of people, we don't love ourselves enough. So when people tell us we are not fair enough, it becomes a problem. We are not tall enough, it becomes a problem. We are not clever enough. They want to define us. God made us, and we are enough for our purpose. We can get better. Temperament can be spirit controlled. When the Spirit of God came into Peter, Peter used to talk without thinking. He became one that was now too careful. God had to show a vision of saying, you must not call what I've called clean unclean, because he became rigid in his mind. But this used to be the one that would slice ear without thinking. So his temperament became spirit control. Thank you so much, Philip. Thank you. Your modern nature will start helping the child to know that I now have a point where I think for myself. So even if you want to, the child is going through a process, but what to expect for a child 12 to 18. I'm reading from Praise for War's book. He said this is the most difficult age range. It is not the most volatile age for the young adults because a lot of lives have been messed up at this age. A form of rebellion just to accept independence. Quest to hang out with peers. Exposure to all sorts of sexual temptations. Distractions from music and the movie world. What do you do? Conversations, very key. Talk to them about dating, about courtship. Talk to them about addiction. The conversation I met my child doing a boot camp with about 30-something speakers all over the world. And they're learning so much. Mind mapping, they're learning. I taught on setback and failures. I taught the children, more than how many children, on setback and failures. And teaching the teenagers how, okay, have you ever failed in your exam? And things like that, so that they can see setback or failure as a and not as an event that should shut their lives. So you need to have these conversations, okay? And if you need help with them, please let Dotun give you my number, reach out to me, and then we can continue this conversation offline. But there's something happening while she's distancing herself, but you need to get into her head, help them, because this stage is not so easy. I had to go for a training, despite all I know. because I had to bring my children in. When you are a trainer, your children need other people to also talk to them, so that it's not as if this is what is happening. And my daughter, when I was coaching the session that I had at the boot camp, talked about setback, and she opened up because I wanted feedback, and she opened up about how I helped her to love herself when she had issues with her friends, and to love on herself, and to, you know, just be herself. And somebody reached out to me among the teenagers to say, what your daughter talked about, I am also going through it. You know, being misunderstood, and my friends are, you know, it's as if I don't have friends, the way they talk to me and everything. And I'm like, self-love is key. Once you love yourself, yes, you need friends, but you won't mind what they do. You will stand for yourself and show up for yourself. So that is it. So please have a conversation with the child and find out, and keep having conversations until the child is okay. Because sometimes it might mean there's nothing happening. Sometimes it might mean there's something happening. Okay, Dr. I think.
Sorry, I'm here. I had to go and attend to. There was a small emergency.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm back now.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, so yeah, so that's the last question I think we can take now. I think I would leave the floor open for Pastor Chris for his remarks, and we'll take it from there. Pastor, can you hear us? I've unmuted. Pastor, can you hear us?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, Pastor.
Could you please now? I'm speaking now. Thank you. All right. I want to thank our dear sister Bridget. Thank you so much. It's so nice to see you, one, and to hear the great things that you're doing. The other day I was just thinking, I don't know how God brought all of us together. The exposure.
Yeah.
And just seeing people doing a lot of things in different places, I think it was deliberate. And so it's exciting things that you're doing, and I want to wish you all the best as you continue to impact your world. That, incidentally, is the focus of our ministry. Our vision in Church for Real is to influence our world, and our world is in different spheres of human endeavor, and you keep this path, and I pray that God will continue to strengthen you as you do that.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you so much for the time you spent with us today. I'm having a sense at two of these, and that's
hello.
Personally, this parent for me as an individual is something I wish if it were possible to outsource. You know, you just outsource and do all.
Okay.
It's I get scolded every day, even as she's there, she's pinching me and telling me, reminds me of all my sins, and you know, I have a challenge with being patient. When it comes to, somebody asked me the other day, oh, what teach your children this subject and that subject? I said I don't have the patience. And, no, you know. So, but you made a statement at the beginning, which I think you said you are a father and a mother for life. You are a teen for life. So,
very true.
Being a father and a mother is the role that you have played. Which one you to be? You know, the things that this topic, because in particular, you know, you're driving on the road and you see kids of 7, 8 going to school, and then you can't even imagine your kids living the street. It's tough, you know, and we knew that. I mean, we're having a problem. There's a challenge here, you know. So at that point, you let them experience life. How do you create the safety nets that they may not know exist, but helps to catch them if they make mistakes? Should you even do that? You know, so the questions are plenty. So at the back of my mind, I'm thinking, yes, we are at the critical stage, like in church now. Most of our kids are from 0 to almost all the couples here, our kids are from 0 to 14, 15. You know, so this is where we are, and we're likely going to be here for quite some time. You know, so I'm thinking we will definitely call you back because we need to have a lot more of these conversations because we don't want to see other people's children and our kids are lost. be a
Very true.
very bad one.
Yeah.
You know, so it's something that we have to settle down and learn how to do. And truly, we will still make mistakes, okay?
Yeah.
So we want to be able to have
Very
more and
true,
more
yeah.
conversations.
Okay.
Help shaping our expectations and shaping our kids will not turn out accidentally right. They will turn out right because the things we
intentionally,
set out was intentional. You know, it won't be the fact that, like we tell ourselves today, I mean, if it was just by what my parents did, I don't know how I would have gotten here. Yeah, a lot of us think that. You know, so but we don't want to do that. We don't want our kids to turn out good accidentally. We want them to turn out because we took the right steps, we paid the sacrifice, we burned the midnight oil where it needed to be, we shouted when we needed to shout, we hugged when we needed to hug, and all of that. So that's the kind of parent that we want to be. So I want to thank you again. We can't thank you enough. And I also want to thank our friends who joined us from other places. We try to broadcast it as much as possible, and a couple of persons that I don't know who joined us, which is a testament to the fact that some people saw us and then they joined us. So I want to thank you all for joining. Our vision in Lovenest is to have a complete family, complete homes where husband, wife, children are submissive under the authority of God and impacting our generation. So once again, I just want to say thank you. My heart is just overwhelmed with lots of thanks for sharing with us today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much
Thank
for having me. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, ma. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
God bless you, ma. God bless you, ma.
Thank you.
We really appreciate the time you have taken, the in-depth analysis of what parenting ought to be has been. I've learned a lot this morning, and I'm sure many of our members and our guests have learned a lot as well. Thank you so much for being a part of the meeting.
Thank you, Daryl. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
All right. So, I think at this point, I should say big congratulations to, where is Osaze? Osaze was with us. Osaze and Uche, they just welcomed their new babies. Osaze, are you there? Can you hear us?
Yes, I am. I am here.
How is mommy? How is mother and baby?
Fine. Yeah, good.
Congratulations, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Congratulations. You already started staying up. Started staying up at night already, I imagine.
Yeah. You know, that's actually why they are not here.
Yeah. Congratulations again. Uche and Nkechi are not here. I don't think I've seen them. They didn't come on board they didn't join us this morning. Anyway, we just thought to say congratulations again. And we'll see in church tomorrow.
Thank you.
That's if you can meet church tomorrow, of course. All right then. All right. So for other things on our program, you know, we were supposed to have Lovenest Getaway last month, but of course, due to, you know, the pandemic and all the other matters arising, we were unable to. So we canceled Getaway for 2020. I just thought it's important to say that, just in case some of us might still be expecting that we will be having that later down the line. Okay, so I want to open the mic for everyone so that we can exchange salutations and what I don't know how to do this. So good morning, mommy. My mother-in-law just came in now. Let me see. How do we open computer audio? Okay, I think I'll just manually open up everyone here. Hello, Favor, are you there? Favor, I unmuted you. Pastor T.
Thank you. Okay, I'm muted.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you, Sister Bridget. God bless
Thank
you.
Thank you, Mary.
Thank you.
I want to crave your indulgence that you give us your number, that
Okay.
if anyone wants to reach out to you personally, they can. Because so I was telling my husband, I said, this parenting thing is intentional.
Mm.
We have to have our goals for it. Is that obvious? That's what we need to do, and a lot of us need some guidance as to how to go about that.
Yeah.
So thank you in advance for giving us your number. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
So let me put in the chat box quickly.
Okay.
So
Okay.
You
Okay.
get it.
All right, we'll appreciate that. Thank you, madam.
You're welcome. So it's there.
All right, ma'am, we'll take it.
Everyone, that's the only number. So yes, send me WhatsApp preferably, and we can talk and call.
Okay.
That's my only number. Is my WhatsApp, is my everything. So if you call and I'm not picking, send a text. I will call you. I do that.
Okay, ma'am.
And
We'll
then
do.
a WhatsApp. Anytime I will read my WhatsApp at any time. Yes, please. Feel free to call or send a message before you call, and I will pick. My rule is if you call me twice and it's the same number, I will call back. If it's once, you are not desperate enough. If it's twice, I will call back.
All right, man. Thank you so much.
So once it's more than twice, I know that is a desperate call.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. God bless you, man. So the meeting was recorded. We'll try and put it together and then share again in the WhatsApp group so that we can rewatch and just have the experience again. It was very profound, the amount of information that Mrs. Bridget Elesin shared this morning. Thank you so much again. So that'll be all, guys. I think the meeting is officially ended, and I just need to be sure that the recording is still on. All right, guys. Have a lovely weekend. See you in church tomorrow.
Thank you. Have a great year. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye.